Pardon mania is sweeping the nation. Joe Biden did his pardons, his bizarre pardons of his brother, about 15 minutes before he left office. And then Trump did his mass pardons. I think 1,500 J6ers, just all kinds of people getting pro-lifers that have been imprisoned, getting pardoned. And of course, the Democrat Party has to pretend like they're having a heart attack or he did something illegal or whatever. We're going to dissect it all. Welcome to the Doug TenNapel channel. Let's get to first, wrong answers only, lies only, please, from Jamie Raskin on, I can't remember if this is CNN.
But look, the people who were pardoned in the morning were pardoned because we were innocent and Donald Trump was threatening Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson and others with fraudulent political prosecutions. The people.
Okay, hold on. Now that's his justification for Biden pardoning Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, Adam Schiff, and all those guys, because unlike other people, they were innocent. They were never tried. So it was preemptively to keep them from being investigated. I agree it doesn't make them guilty. It looks like they're guilty, does not mean that they are guilty, but it means you'll never know because they've been given a preemptive pardon. Your opinion on them being innocent to keep them from being investigated or prosecuted by Trump is not justified to say that they're innocent. On the presidential pardons, it's implied that they're going to pardon people who are guilty, and I don't think it matters if they're guilty or innocent. The whole idea is the president is allowed to pardon them. So they could be guilty, and Biden would still be allowed to pardon them. The preemptive thing, I don't get at all. I think you'd have to be convicted and found guilty before you can be pardoned. It's not a pardon unless you're pardoning someone of guilt.
People who were just pardoned a little while ago were pardoned because they were guilty of us violently assaulting police officers, carrying dangerous weapons inside the Capitol, destroying federal property, and so on. And it was just—
Now listen, all those things he said, that might be true. They might indeed be guilty of all that stuff, destroying property, attacking police officers, and Trump is completely in his rights to give them a pardon. That's what it's there for. He has a right. You can question the policy of any president being able to pardon someone of their sentence, but you'd have to at least say that all presidents who have ever pardoned someone is overturning the justice system, a judge and a jury, and the sentence that they gave, the amount of prison time they gave. So that's my beef with Raskin, is just from the start, he's not being honest.
Just a mass pardon for all of them without even looking to see whether those people were rehabilitated and whether they continue to pose a threat to public safety.
Again, it's the president's pleasure. They don't have to be repentant. They don't have to have rehabilitated at all to be pardoned. They could sit there in prison and say, I'm guilty and I'm not repentant and I believe I'm still in the right and I do not care and I hate this country, and they could still be pardoned.
You previously said on CNN, the quote, "The seeking of pardons is powerful demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble, and that's what's so shocking about this." Do you feel conflicted about the fact that President Biden did extend this pardon to you? I mean, he has faced criticism from other members of that committee who said, I don't want a pardon.
No, we didn't seek a pardon. Obviously, the president decided that there have been all of these threats of completely political prosecutions and persecution by the Trump administration. And so there were—
Now, is he conflicted? He says no. Only Jamie Raskin could not feel conflicted. I'm a Republican and I feel conflicted about the pardons on both sides. Jamie Raskin, that implies, she asked if it bugs his conscience. That implies that he has a conscience. I mean, I have to believe there's one rolling around in there. I don't think we're going to see it today.
Officers who got it, Dr. Fauci got it, General Milley got it.
And you, Jamie Raskin, got it. It's just weird to me that he's implying that they're all innocent and the Republicans, of course, are all guilty. He goes, no, you don't understand. We were threatened with political persecution without any thought of what they did to Trump. Literal, actual political persecution where he was found guilty, a felon. I mean, at the very least, he would think that it would be justified for Biden to pardon Trump because of political persecution. But of course, he doesn't mean that. Guys, this is just politics is all I'm saying. This is funny.
And there are some other people I wish had gotten it. I wish Michael Cohen had gotten it.
Yay, we get to still get Michael Cohen. Michael Cohen is such a troll. I don't think anyone's even going to go after him. He's the one who testified in the Stormy Daniels case, who's terrified and wants to leave the country. I think he's such a troll, that I don't think they're going to go after those scraps.
And there were other people who I think are being threatened by the new administration, but that's a completely different thing from taking a mob of people who were convicted for violently assaulting police officers and then pardoning them en masse.
And he literally offered no information on how they're different. Biden commuted the sentences of 1,500 people on death row or whatever it was. What's sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. One man's modus ponens is another man's modus tollens, as they say. Clinton, assault, defender, and obfuscator. George Stephanopoulos, wrong answers only, please. And Marco Rubio, here we go.
Let's begin with January 6 pardons. Back when this happened, you called it a national embarrassment, saying we now have third world countries that are lecturing us and we have tin pot dictators that are mocking us. Of course, you're now America's top diplomat. You'll be speaking with your counterparts around the world. What message does that pardon send to them?
Well, I don't anticipate a single one of our partners will ask about it, obviously, and you know this well from your time in the administration. And my job is to focus on the foreign policy of the United States. I have a different job this morning and a different focus, and it's one that demands 100% of our attention. And so that's what I'll be focused on, and won't be opining on domestic matters at this point because, frankly, my focus needs to be 100% on how I interact with our, counterparts, our adversaries, our potential enemies around the world to keep this country safe, to make it prosperous. That's the clear mandate from the president. It's what he campaigned on. I think he made it pretty clear yesterday that he wants to reinvigorate an American foreign policy that makes America safer and stronger and more prosperous. That's what the promise that Donald Trump was elected to keep, and that's the one we're going to help him keep at the Department of State.
But that's a very good answer, Marco Rubio. What a politician answer. You don't answer the question. Here's the Trump agenda. Da, 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 da. I love it. Yay, George Stephanopoulos. How's it feel? It's like you're interviewing a Democrat. This is why Marco Rubio, by the way, went flying through as the first approved by the House, by the Senate to be in Trump's administration. He was the first one through. They're like, look, we got to pay back our brother, a fellow politician. So I love that Marco Rubio does not dignify George Stephanopoulos with an answer. No, he did not directly answer the question at hand, but he's a politician.
As a senator, you did say that it affected our standing in the world. You don't believe that anymore?
Well, as a senator, I had an opinion on all kinds of domestic matters, but now I'm focused singularly on foreign policy, on how I interact with our allies.
Yeah, whatever you do, Marco, do not answer the question. Good answer. And now we get to see the new White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt. Trump's first meeting with the press, he doesn't even use her. But no Karine Jean-Pierre. And Karine Jean-Pierre is so inarticulate, can't speak, and doesn't have a single thought rolling around in her head that even MSNBC is not offering her a show.
So when the reporters call on you at your first press briefing, are you going to have a great big thick binder? And when they ask you a question, are you going to have to look for that topic so you know exactly what they want you to say?
Well, I might bring some notes in with me, but my binder is in my brain because I know President Trump's policies and we have truth on our side at this White House. But I can confirm that the American people won't be hearing from me today. They'll be hearing from the leader of the free world once again. President Trump will be speaking to the press later this afternoon at the White House, and we will have a big infrastructure announcement. This man is already doing more in less than 24 hours than his predecessor did in 4 years. Yesterday was a historic day for President Trump. He signed 42 executive orders, memorandums, and proclamations. He took more than 200 executive actions on top of giving 3 speeches throughout the day and then attending 3 balls late into the early hours of the morning this morning. And he's already off to work again. And so
I do have to make one comment on that because I could not believe when I saw Trump speak at one of the balls, one of the three last night. We were watching it live, my wife and I were. I couldn't believe his energy level. I told her, if I'm like that when I'm 80, I'm 58. I'm like, that guy is amazing. I don't know what holds that guy up and keeps him going, but it's shocking to me how he's able to do all this. Then he signed all those documents. He's on his feet all day, walking around. He is incredibly strong. I don't get it. I don't get what makes Trump tick, but he is inhumanly effective and energetic for an 80-year-old.
The American people have a leader who is delivering on the promises he made to them. President Trump sending shock and awe yesterday with his actions to secure the southern border, to unleash the might of our energy industry, and to bring jobs back here at home. So the American people have a strong leader in President Trump. There's no doubt about that.
And I agree, he's definitely high energy. Now here's Peter Doocy with a new announcement on Trump's. This was something that he talked about in that first press conference, a new thing called Stargate.
On this massive new investment. Peter.
Today's big announcement here, though, it's about Project, of course, it's about Project Stargate. That's what they're calling it. The CEOs of OpenAI and Oracle and SoftBank are going to be here talking about this $100 billion joint data center venture that they have. The action today follows about 200 executive actions yesterday, and the most immediate policy changes that we have seen so far are immigration policy changes. In fact, right now, ICE agents are out there rounding up and arresting illegal immigrants.
It's been clear, I've been clear, that right out of the gate, we're looking for public safety threats. ICE agents are out there doing that now.
The president has also canceled DEI funding, said the U.S. is only going to recognize 2 genders, and said that the U.S. is now going to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
And you're witnessing the dawn of the golden age of America. That's what it's going to be. We're bringing it back. We're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back faster.
The president and Vice President Vance attended a prayer breakfast today, and they wound up getting an earful from the Reverend.
There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families.
Wait a minute. How do you know if a child is gay? Are we talking 4-year-olds here? We already did one on this bat crazy church. Imagine, this is why men don't go to church. Imagine Trump going to this service and he's going like, this is why I don't go to church. I don't blame you. I wouldn't go to church either if this was my church.
Some who fear for their lives.
What did you think of the service?
What did you think? Did you like it? Did you find it exciting? Not too exciting, was it? I didn't think it was a good service, no. Thank you.
Not too exciting. I didn't think it was a good service, no. Oh, I just love him.
Very much.
Many changes around here on Trump's first day. I was in the Oval Office with him last night, and I noticed that the valet button, famously known as the Diet Coke button, is back on the Resolute desk. So the staff here remembers what the big boss likes.
Okay, Trump's back to swill in his Diet Coke. I guess that's important. Thanks, Doocy. Can you imagine that pastor, whatever her name is, a bishopess or a deaconess, I don't know what she is, but she was saying like, LGBTQ kids just have mercy on them, President, remember their fear. Can you imagine her preaching that sermon to Barack Obama? This is so stupid. So getting back to that Stargate thing, it's a giant AI farm. It's a giant bank of computers that Trump has agreed to spend $100 billion is the announcement that America is spending $100 billion on a bank of AI computers. Now, this really proves that Elon Musk and his tech buddies, Mark Andreessen, David Sachs, have told him this is important. And I'm really speaking a little bit out of ignorance here. I really don't understand a lot of it. I do know that AI takes a lot of processing to do, and that I think they might have given him the insight on, look, if you don't do this for military purposes against China, their AI is going to come and kick our butts. So right now, that's how a mass of They're trying to shut down our energy and all that and go into all of our computers. That's all done through AI bots that they program. So it could be a massive AI defense for America, for all I know. And that's what I hope anyways. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this show. This is God's will. This is God's will. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Doug in Exile.